Have you ever wondered how much we really know about our past? Welcome to Did You Know? And today we're diving into the world of the most incredible archaeological discoveries that have forever changed our understanding of history. Beneath our feet lie secrets thousands of years old. Every time a shovel hits the ground, there's a possibility it will uncover something that completely overturns our understanding of the past. That's exactly what happened with the discoveries we'll talk about today. Get ready for a journey through time as we uncover 20 of the most shocking archaeological discoveries that have left scientists speechless and forced historians to rewrite textbooks. These discoveries aren't just fascinating, they're revolutionary. Discovery number 20. Göbekli Tepe, the oldest monumental complex. Imagine finding a site that predates agriculture as we know it. That's Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, a complex of stone structures dating back an incredible 12,000 years. This discovery has played a prominent role in debates about early human civilization. Before Göbekli Tepe, many believed that humans first developed agriculture, and only then began building complex structures and developing religion. But Göbekli Tepe challenges this narrative. The site features massive T-shaped stone pillars, some weighing up to 10 tons, decorated with reliefs of animals and abstract symbols. Recent findings suggest it wasn't just a temple used by nomads, as previously thought, but a settlement with domestic structures, extensive cereal processing, and tools associated with daily life. The architecture and iconography are similar to other contemporary sites in the vicinity, such as Karahan Tepe. As of 2021, only about 10% of the site has been excavated, with geophysical surveys showing at least 20 large enclosures still to be explored. Discovery number 19, the Terracotta Army, underground army of the first Chinese emperor. On March 29, 1974, a group of Chinese farmers was digging a well during a drought when they stumbled upon something incredible. Fragments of life-sized heads made of red clay and bronze arrowheads. What they had discovered was part of an underground terracotta army guarding the tomb of the first Chinese emperor, Qin Shi Huang. This army consists of thousands of unique life-sized soldiers, each with different facial features. Despite the sheer number of warriors, no two faces are alike. The soldiers are divided into different ranks, including archers, generals, charioteers, officers, and more, just like a real army of that time. It's believed the figures were originally painted in bright colors which indicated different ranks. So far, about 2,000 figures have been unearthed, with an estimated 6,000 more still to be discovered. Just this past January, more than 20 new warriors were found, including a general and middle-ranking officer. Discovery number 18. Dead Sea Scrolls, the oldest biblical manuscripts. In 1947, a Bedouin shepherd was looking for a lost goat in caves near the Dead Sea when he accidentally came across clay jars containing ancient scrolls that would become one of the most important archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. The Dead Sea Scrolls have had perhaps the greatest biblical impact of any archaeological discovery. They have provided Old Testament manuscripts approximately 1,000 years older than our previous oldest manuscript, demonstrating that the Old Testament was accurately transmitted during this interval. In addition to confirming the accuracy of biblical transmission, they provide a wealth of information on the times leading up to and during the life of Christ, offering invaluable historical context for understanding the New Testament. Discovery number 17, Cahokia Mounds, lost city of ancient America. When you think of ancient cities, you probably imagine Rome, Athens, or maybe Machu Picchu. But what if I told you that one of the largest ancient cities existed in what is now Illinois in the USA? Dating from the Mississippian period, 800 to 1350 AD, Cahokia Mounds is the largest pre-Columbian archaeological site north of Mexico and the earliest of the large Mississippian settlements. Cahokia graphically demonstrates the existence of a pre-urban society in which a powerful political and economic hierarchy was responsible for the organization of labor, communal agriculture, and trade. This is reflected in the size and layout of the settlement and the nature and structure of the public and private buildings. The site preserves all three types of mounds as well as borrow pits. The course of the palisade remains almost completely intact, and large areas adjacent to the core of the site have been acquired and restored to preserve the historic setting. Discovery number 16, the Rosetta Stone, key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphics. Imagine having a book full of fascinating stories, but you can't read it because it's written in a language no one understands. That was the situation with Egyptian hieroglyphics, until the Rosetta Stone was found. Discovered in 1799 during Napoleon's expedition to Egypt, this black granite stone contains the same text written in three different scripts: hieroglyphics, Demotic script, and Ancient Greek. For over 20 years, great minds tried to put the puzzle of the Rosetta Stone together. The breakthrough came when Jean-François Champollion approached the problem from a language and culture perspective, rather than using the mathematics traditionally used to crack codes. Champollion realized that hieroglyphs are not strictly ideograms, nor solely phonetic signs. They are both. Hieroglyphs depict ideas, but they can also represent sounds, exactly like our own letters. This insight, along with other bilingual documents beyond just the Rosetta Stone, allowed him to finally decipher this ancient writing system. Discovery number 15, Tutankhamun's tomb, untouched treasure of the Boy King. On November 4, 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered the entrance to an ancient Egyptian tomb under the tomb of King Ramesses VI. 3 weeks later, the tomb was opened, famously revealing wonderful things, as Carter is quoted saying. What Carter saw was the nearly intact tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, nicknamed the Boy King in modern times, who came to the throne around 1336 BC at approximately 9 years of age and ruled for about 10 years. This discovery was sensational because it was one of the few royal tombs that had escaped looting through the centuries. The tomb contained more than 5,000 items, including a solid gold coffin, royal chariots, and the pharaoh's death mask. Carter was acclaimed for the meticulous way he recorded the excavation, including drawing and documenting each item and how they were constructed. The tomb took 10 years to excavate, with all the original field records now held in the Griffith Institute archive at Oxford University and fully available online. Discovery number 14, Pompeii, a city frozen in time. When Vesuvius erupted in 79 AD, the inhabitants of Pompeii had no chance. Volcanic ash and gases covered the city, killing thousands of people. But this tragedy preserved an incredible time capsule for future generations. Largely preserved under the ash, Pompeii offers a unique snapshot of Roman life, frozen at the moment it was buried. It was a wealthy town of 10,000 to 20,000 residents at the time it was destroyed. What makes Pompeii so unique is that it provides a complete picture of an ancient Roman city. It hosted many fine public buildings and luxurious private houses with lavish decorations, furnishings, and artworks. Subsequent excavations have found hundreds of private homes and businesses, reflecting various architectural styles and social classes, as well as numerous public buildings. Organic remains, including wooden objects and human bodies, were interred in the ash. Their eventual decay allowed archaeologists to create molds of figures in their final moments of life. The numerous graffiti carved on outside walls and inside rooms provide a wealth of examples of the largely lost vulgar Latin spoken colloquially at the time. Discovery number 13, Altamira cave paintings, Ice Age art. Imagine you're an amateur archaeologist exploring a cave with your young daughter. While you dig through the ground looking for evidence of prehistoric inhabitants, your daughter looks up and becomes the first modern European to see Paleolithic paintings more than 14,000 years old. That happened to Marcelino Sanz de Sautuola and his daughter Maria in 1879 when they discovered cave paintings in Altamira, Spain. Since their discovery, these world-famous caves have been the subject of fierce debate. The caves were closed to visitors in 2002 as a result of the damage their presence was thought to be causing, and a replica was constructed in the nearby visitor center. The disagreement continues between scientists who claim that the paintings will be damaged by the presence of visitors, and those who argue that the deterioration is a natural process that would happen whether the caves were open to the public or not. In 2014, the Spanish Culture Ministry received two contradictory reports on the subject. One concluded that opening the caves to visitors was a danger, while the other stated that visits do not affect the paintings. Discovery number 12. Krapina, Neanderthals. Complex behavior and possible ritual practices. In Krapina, Croatia, remains of more than 80 Neanderthals dating back about 130,000 years were found. What's intriguing is that many bones showed signs of cutting and breaking, similar to those on animal bones used for food. This discovery has led to ongoing debates among anthropologists. While some initially hypothesized that these markings were evidence of cannibalism, possibly during times of food scarcity, recent research suggests a more complex picture. The markings could be indicative of various practices, including possible cannibalism during times of food scarcity, ritual practices, or funeral customs, or even a combination of both cannibalism and ritual behavior. It's important to note that the debate continues and there's no definitive conclusion. This discovery provides insight into the complex behavior of our extinct relatives and reminds us that ancient humans had developed social practices that we may never fully understand. Discovery number 11. The attack on Montezuma Castle. Archaeological evidence supports Native American accounts. At Montezuma Castle, National Monument in Arizona, recent archaeological findings have shed new light on the abandonment of a 14th century village. For decades, archaeologists believed the site was peacefully abandoned. However, this interpretation clashed with Native American oral histories. Hopi people recount that their ancestors were attacked and forced to flee, while local Apache oral history tells of ancestral Apaches and their allies storming the village and setting it ablaze. Recent research by National Park Service archaeologist Matthew Gubbard has provided evidence supporting these Native American accounts. Dating of charred plaster walls shows the fire occurred between 1375 and 1395. Analysis of pottery demonstrates that some ceramics were made during this period, suggesting occupation until the time of destruction. Re-examination of human remains unearthed in the 1930s revealed skull fractures, cuts, and singe marks, indicating they were likely killed during an attack coinciding with a catastrophic fire. This discovery highlights the importance of considering indigenous oral histories alongside archaeological evidence when interpreting ancient sites. Discovery number 10. Shimao Sacrificial Pits. Evidence of ancient rituals and warfare. In Shimao, an ancient site along China's Great Wall, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of human sacrifice dating back to the Neolithic period. The excavations revealed a sacrificial pit containing human skulls, likely from captives taken during warfare. Morphological analysis suggests some victims may have been from a neighboring site called Jukaigu. Additionally, jade artifacts were inserted into spaces between blocks in all of Shimao's structures, possibly for ritual purposes. These discoveries provide insight into the complex social and religious practices of ancient Chinese societies. The combination of human sacrifice and valuable jade offerings suggests that these rituals may have been used to imbue the city's walls with religious significance. Discovery number 9. Baghdad Battery. Ancient artifact or early electrochemical technology. Discovered in 1936 near Baghdad, the so-called Baghdad Battery is a 2,000-year-old artifact that continues to puzzle archaeologists and scientists. The artifact consists of a 140-millimeter tall ceramic vessel containing a copper cylinder with an iron rod positioned inside, While some researchers have proposed that this could be an early example of a galvanic cell, possibly used for electroplating or electrotherapy, the true purpose of the Baghdad battery remains a mystery. Alternative theories suggest it may have been a container for storing sacred scrolls, used in religious ceremonies, or simply a storage vessel. Without conclusive evidence or written records of its use, the Baghdad battery's purpose continues to be debated among experts. Discovery number 8. Antikythera Mechanism, the world's oldest known computer. Discovered in a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901, the Antikythera Mechanism has revolutionized our understanding of ancient technology. This sophisticated device, dating back over 2,000 years, is considered the world's oldest known analog computer. Recent studies using advanced 3D X-ray and modeling technology have revealed its incredible capabilities. The mechanism could predict planetary positions, calculate eclipse dates, and even track the Olympic Games. The complexity of the Antikythera mechanism demonstrates that ancient Greek civilization possessed far more advanced technological knowledge than previously believed, challenging our perceptions of ancient scientific capabilities. Discovery number 7. Teotihuacan Tunnels, Gateway to the Underworld. Beneath the ancient city of Teotihuacan in Mexico, archaeologists have discovered a network of tunnels that provide fascinating insights into Mesoamerican cosmology and ritual practices. The excavations revealed a 100-meter-long tunnel leading directly under the Pyramid of the Sun. Another tunnel beneath the Temple of the Feathered Serpent contained thousands of ritual objects. The walls were dusted with reflective pyrite, creating a shimmering effect that must have been mesmerizing in the light of ancient torches. These tunnels are believed to represent the underworld in Teotihuacan cosmology. The discovery of more than 50,000 ritual objects within the tunnels attests to their sacred nature and importance in ancient Mesoamerican religious practices. Discovery number 6. Lascaux Cave, Prehistoric Masterpieces. In 1940, 4 teenagers and their dog accidentally discovered what would become known as one of the most impressive galleries of prehistoric art in the world, the Lascaux Cave in France. The cave walls are covered with more than 600 paintings of animals, humans, and abstract signs, painted approximately 17,000 years ago during the Upper Paleolithic period. Scientific studies have confirmed that these paintings were created using mineral pigments, primarily iron oxide, giving red, orange, and brown colors, and manganese oxide for black. What's particularly remarkable about the Lascaux paintings is their technical sophistication. The artists used the natural contours of the cave walls to give their paintings a three-dimensional effect. They developed techniques for mixing pigments and creating perspective, and demonstrated an advanced understanding of animal anatomy and movement. Unfortunately, the cave was closed to the public in 1963 after human visitors caused the growth of algae, fungi, and a white crystalline mold called white sickness that began threatening the paintings. Today, visitors can only see Lascaux II, an exact replica created to preserve the original site while allowing public access to this prehistoric treasure. Discovery number 5. Alaskan Children in the Hearth, Ancient Beringians. In 2010, archaeologists in central Alaska made a remarkable discovery: the cremated remains of a 3-year-old child buried within a hearth approximately 11,500 years ago. Nearby, they also found the remains of 2 infants, later named Zakhaiti Anen Teedagai, Sunrise Child Girl, and Yokane Teedagai, Dawn Twilight Child Girl. DNA analysis of these remains has provided crucial insights into early human migration to the Americas. The genetic evidence revealed that these children belonged to a previously unknown population now called ancient Beringians. This population genetically diverged from the ancestors of other Native Americans approximately 20,000 years ago. The findings support the theory that a single founding population migrated from Asia to North America via Beringia, the land bridge that once connected Siberia and Alaska. This discovery has significantly contributed to our understanding of how and when humans first populated the Americas, suggesting a more complex migration pattern than previously thought. Discovery number 4. Ötzi the Iceman, window into Copper Age life. In 1991, hikers in the Ötztal Alps on the border between Austria and Italy discovered the remarkably preserved body of a man who died approximately 5,300 years ago. Ötzi, as he was named, represents one of the most complete naturally preserved human remains ever found from this time period. Scientific analysis of Ötzi's remains and possessions has provided unprecedented insights into Copper Age life. His clothing, made from the leather and fur of various animals including goat, deer, and bear, demonstrated sophisticated tailoring techniques. His equipment included a copper axe, one of the oldest known metal tools in Europe, a yew bow, arrows, and a fire-starting kit. His body bears 61 tattoos, which may have been related to pain relief treatments similar to acupuncture. His stomach contents revealed his last meals, which included ibex meat, einkorn wheat, and traces of toxic fern. Perhaps most intriguingly, evidence indicates Ötzi died a violent death. A flint arrowhead lodged in his left shoulder would have severed a major blood vessel, likely causing him to bleed to death. Additional wounds on his hands and head suggest he was involved in hand-to-hand combat shortly before his death. Discovery number 3. The Pit of Bones, evidence of early compassion and violence. In the Atapuerca Mountains of Spain, archaeologists discovered a cave containing the remains of at least 28 individuals dating to approximately 430,000 years ago, making them some of the oldest human remains ever found in Europe. This site, officially named Cima de los Huesos, Pit of Bones, has yielded several groundbreaking discoveries. The remains represent early Neanderthals or their direct ancestors, providing crucial information about human evolution. One individual, known as Cranium 17, shows evidence of 2 traumatic injuries to the forehead that were likely fatal. The forensic analysis suggests these injuries were inflicted with the same object in face-to-face encounters, making this potentially the earliest documented case of interpersonal violence in the human fossil record. Additionally, the discovery of a complete skeleton of an individual with a severe congenital deformity suggests these early humans may have cared for disabled members of their group, indicating complex social behavior and compassion long before modern humans evolved. Discovery number 2. 10-million-year-old German teeth, challenging human origins. In 2016, paleontologists working in the Eppelsheim region of Germany unearthed 2 teeth dated to approximately 9.7 million years old. These teeth sparked scientific debate because they share characteristics with teeth from much later hominin species. The teeth, a canine and an upper molar, show similarities to those of Australopithecus afarensis and Ardipithecus ramidus, hominin species previously found only in Africa. If the teeth do belong to a hominin species, they would predate the oldest known African hominin remains by several million years. This could potentially challenge the widely accepted out-of-Africa theory of human evolution. However, many scientists urge caution in interpreting these findings. The teeth could belong to an extinct non-hominin primate that evolved similar dental features through convergent evolution. More complete fossil evidence is needed before drawing definitive conclusions. The initial dating may require verification through additional methods. This discovery demonstrates how single finds can potentially reshape our understanding of human evolution, while also highlighting the importance of thorough scientific scrutiny before revising established theories. Discovery number 1. Göbekli Tepe, rewriting the history of civilization. Our top discovery returns to Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which has fundamentally changed our understanding of when and why humans first began building monumental structures. Recent excavations have revealed even more about this extraordinary site. Göbekli Tepe contains at least 20 circular structures, each featuring massive T-shaped stone pillars weighing up to 10 tons. The pillars are decorated with intricate carvings of animals, abstract symbols, and occasionally human forms. The site dates to approximately 9,600 to 8,000 BCE, making it 7,000 years older than Stonehenge and 7,500 years older than the oldest Egyptian pyramids. It was built by hunter-gatherers, not settled agriculturalists as previously believed necessary for such monumental architecture. The most revolutionary aspect of Göbekli Tepe is how it challenges the conventional narrative of civilization's development. Rather than religion and monumental architecture arising as a result of agricultural settlement, Göbekli Tepe suggests the reverse may be true. Humans may have first gathered for religious ceremonies and then developed agriculture to support these communal activities. After more than 1,000 years of use, the entire complex was deliberately buried around 8,000 BCE for reasons that remain unknown. Only about 5 to 10% of the site has been excavated to date, suggesting many more discoveries await beneath the surface. Conclusion. From ancient temples to sophisticated technologies, from evidence of compassion to signs of violence, these archaeological discoveries transform our understanding of the past and human nature itself. They reveal that our ancestors were more sophisticated, creative, and complex than we ever imagined. Each new discovery reminds us how little we know about our own history and how much there is still to uncover. Which of these discoveries do you find most fascinating? Perhaps Göbekli Tepe that changes our chronology of civilization? Or maybe the Antikythera Mechanism that shows incredible ancient technological knowledge? Share your opinion in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Did You Know? For more fascinating facts and incredible discoveries that will expand your knowledge of the world around us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.